Let's get right out to Indiana. That's right, Victor Oladipo. Oh, he's gonna get hot right away. But first, how about Bogdanovic? The three-pointer from the corner knocks it down. But you know, Thaddeus Young, K-Mac, has been playing so well inside, and you know he can finish on the break.
He runs. He still runs. Came out of Georgia Tech running and never slowed down.
He had 12 points tonight. How about Collison? This team must have been running all night long because we're seeing fast breaks here, and you know it's because of the defense. When you think about Indiana and their coach, Nate McMillan, how about that? Joseph hitting the jumper to end the first quarter. DeAndre Ayton inside. You like those hands, Kate?
Yeah, nice hands. Let him snatch that.
He had 14 and 8 rebounds tonight. Again, how about Bogdanovic from the corner? He had 20 points tonight. Let's get over to halftime. Thaddeus, the perfect pass to Turner up top. He can do it inside and out. And he shows you right there, he can hit the three or the mid-range jumper. He has 16.6 rebounds tonight. But it was all about Bogdanovic. Step back.
Ooh.
Hit him in the head.
Tough one.
Bang. Three. Indiana up 86-60 now. Tyreek Evans, he's going to take it coast to coast for the ropes.
Nice. Not much defense. Defender just ended up in the back against the stanchion. Just kept giving ground.
And again, on our players-only blowout night, we have another blowout for you. Phoenix, Indiana. That's right. You see it right there. If I can count, I won't even try to add that up, but I think that's around, who knows, 34? Am I correct? Is that right? Oh, that was quick. I knew it was a blowout. How about that? Oubre, he's been hot lately, but his team hasn't. OKC Atlanta, why are we showing you this? Because you know Schroeder and crew are going to come in and beat his former team, the Hawks, right? They don't even need to play this one. Well,
nice pass.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook, he can do that to Adams. How about Adams and Capella, the big fellas that finish strong? Collins, talking about finishing strong off the alley-oop. And how about that? The bang three from deep. How about Hurter? He had 17 points, 46-41. Collins, another big alley-oop. Let's get out to the second half. OKC, you know that man right there. PG-13 from the top of the key. He hits the three-pointer. Now he has the ball in his hands with a great pass. He's going to find Steven Adams. He gets the and one, but misses the free throw. Atlanta's up 78-72 now.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. You like that?
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Herder, he has a wetter. That's what they should change his name to, wetter, because he stepped back behind the three-point line. Westbrook comes back for the mid-range jumper. Schroeder, he says, Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. And again, Schroeder says, just give me a little bit more. He wants to transition three. OKC, how about they take the lead, 94-90. Now out to the fourth quarter. This is why they drafted this man, Trae Young. He gets his shot.
Ooh, nice.
Drives to the basket. He gets the foul and one the old way. Traditional, how about this? Drives to the rim again, not just the three-point shooter, and then he says, oh, you gave me space? Take that. Hit him in the head. Trae Young, 24 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds. Oh, yeah. And one dunk contest dunk. They were out there balling. That's
Top
right.
142 on him.
Yeah, OKC only gives up 107. The defense of OKC didn't show up tonight, giving up 142. Let's see what Coach Donovan had to say about his team's effort tonight.
Really, it seemed like they hurt you in kind of all the areas you were worried about, offensive glass, at the rim, and from behind the arc.
Yeah, I mean, no question they did, and I mentioned they were playing very well over the last, whatever it was, 10 to 14 games, and that's what they do. They shoot a lot of threes. They do a really good job offensive rebounding, and they try to generate some turnovers. So, for us, we, have been a great defensive team all year. This certainly wasn't one of our better performances. We're better than that. I'm not trying to take away anything from Atlanta. They played a great game, but I certainly think we could have done a better job all the way through, all the way around.
What was the problem with the pick and roll defense, particularly in the first and second quarter? It seemed like y'all got that a little fixed in that third quarter. to where that guy was sliding over, whether it was Russell or Jeremy, getting a deflection there on the backside?
Yeah, I think that we probably a couple things. One is we let the ball get downhill a little bit too long, kind of held our coverage there, and then when that big was kind of caught in no man's land, we probably got hurt back over the top. I thought in that third quarter we did a good job of generating some turnovers and some steals by pulling across. I didn't think we loaded up and helped enough. Inside the lane in that second quarter, in particular, where they went on that run, we needed to do a better job in some of their action, and I thought in the third we adjusted pretty well on it.
This isn't the first time we've seen that issue with the pick and roll defense. I mean, Phoenix, I think Utah, Dallas. What has been has there been an overreaching theme in what's breaking down, or is it breaking down at different spots in each game?
No, it's different. It's different. It's totally. First of all, it's totally different actions. You know what I mean? It's not like the same play, so it's totally different actions. But it's different things. Whether it's getting the ball stopped at the point of the screen, or whether it's our help pulling across and giving help where it needs to be. Whether it's the guys in the coverage with high hands. Is the floor overloaded? Is the overload behind the balls, in front of the ball? There's just a lot of variables there. And I thought, like I said, after the halftime when we adjusted, I thought we handled it better.
Stick with a pretty standard rotation, starting mostly second unit guys in that fourth quarter. Atlanta's kind of a team that they oscillate between some of those guys that are starting for them tonight or guys that are coming off the bench. But do you give any consideration to putting starters in that at the start of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I thought about it to be honest. I did. I thought one is I thought Jeremy played the whole first quarter, as did Stephen and Paul. I thought that getting Russell off a little bit earlier in that third quarter could get him back a little bit earlier in the fourth. I just think there's a lot of minutes. I mean, Jeremy played 40 minutes tonight. Stephen was 38, 39. Those guys are playing a lot of minutes. I thought the group was playing well to end up the third quarter, and I didn't really want to break up their total momentum and flow that they had going. I wanted to kind of, because we're in a good groove on defense and offense. But no question, I thought, the second unit, we could have done a better job there and start that fourth quarter. But at the same point, too, when we started getting everybody back in, it was a 6-point game. So I understand maybe the momentum changed a little bit there, but it wasn't like it was like an insurmountable lead. It was really, I thought tonight, everybody, it was collectively, coaches included, players, everybody, we just didn't do a good enough job.
You had Alex on the bench for a moment, I think, in the first half. I mean, what was it? What spurred him being on this trip, being able to be with the team this time around?
Yeah, I mean, again, I just, he's obviously always welcome around our team. We want him around our team. And he felt like it was important for him to be here, so he made the trip.
What was, when you say he felt like it was important, what was different from the other times to where he could be on this trip in particular?
The reason I say it's important, I know you've asked several times about, is he around the team, or maybe it was new other people, is he around the team? He wants to be around the team, so I think that there's nothing different. It's just that he wants to be around the team, so when he can do that, he's certainly been able to do that.
Is a game like this easy to brush off, or is it just one of 82? Are you guys really ticked about losing to a team like the Hawks?
Well, I think our guys are competitive guys. I think anytime we lose, it has nothing to do with the Hawks. Anytime we lose, I think these guys are upset or bothered or ticked off. And, I think for us, we got to learn from it and got to get better from it and got to get ready for another game.
What needs to change for those components in the pick and roll to be more sound, more consistently? I mean, I guess in the last few weeks we've seen this pop up a little bit more and more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's been, to be honest with you, it's been different. Our defense has been so elite this year and so great this year. The last several games, it hasn't been at the level it needs to be. And I think for us to be able to play the level of defense that we have been playing for most of the year takes an incredible amount of effort and execution and intensity on those guys' part. And 82 games is a long year, and they've done a pretty good job sustaining it. Tonight was a game we didn't, but I still think that we've got obviously a great defensive group to be able to go out there and guard. So I don't really look at it as, a quote-unquote trend of what's going on. The trend has been, to be honest with you, probably the last 5 out of 6 games. I thought the San Antonio game at home we defended really, really well. I don't think Washington or Minnesota we defended like we needed to. There's a lot of points scored in the San Antonio game on the road. This was a lot of points scored. So we've had a bunch of games here that we've got to get back to playing to the level of defense, not just one guy or 2 guys, but our group, all guys that are out there playing.
Would you say it's more miscommunication, or how much do you think effort plays into that too?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Things are happening so quickly out there for those guys. I mean, I think, for me, I always feel like our guys give effort and our guys work hard, but there is a high level of execution that needs to be taking place with the way we're trying to play defense and the things that we're doing. And, why did we make 15 or 16 three-point shots against San Antonio and things happen quickly and we didn't get, some coverages down like we normally have? It's part of the game. It's part of being a human being. They're not going to be perfect all the time. We need to do a better job all the way around. I think what we've shown of what we're capable of doing defensively, we have got to try to strive for that standard every single game. That's the goal. And we didn't reach the goal tonight, and we didn't play to that standard that we wanted to tonight. But we got to be able to come back and learn from it and get better from it and figure out a way to improve upon what happened tonight.
You obviously don't.
They definitely need to figure a way to get back to that. Gave up 62% of their field goals tonight. You look on the other end, 36 assists on 56 field goal attempts for the Atlanta Hawks. They're definitely moving that ball around. And D. Fish, what are you seeing there looking at tape in your coach's room when we talk about this game between these two teams tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the defense is really what let the Thunder down tonight, and it's been an issue, as Coach Billy Donovan just talked about, in some of their recent games against the Spurs, really high-spirited games. So their defense is their anchor, though. They'll have nights like this, but they're still top defensive team in the league. That end of the floor will be fine. Where they've really had some issue is finding ways to create easy opportunities for Russell Westbrook and Paul George. So here, we'll take a look at an easy opportunity offensively that they create for Russell Westbrook. A little bit of a stack pick and roll action. You see Paul George screening for Steven Adams. And a lot of NBA teams now screening the big screen roll defender that takes that rotation away, allows Russell Westbrook to get downhill and get to the front of the rim. And so Russell's been doing a great job of stepping off the gas, allowing other guys to eat like Paul George and Dennis Schroeder, who's now on the Thunder. And so those opportunities to get downhill without much resistance, those are the ones that allow Westbrook to have that energy they're going to need him to have to make a push in the West.
I got Fish. They're one of the few teams they don't switch with Adams, so they just concept every pick and roll. So you talked about Billy's talking about, which means they come down. Let's say you're pushing a guy to his right hand. That means that weak side's got to be all the way in. They've got to take that roller immediately. And you're a half a step late. That roller gets the ball inside of the first big, and then that that first weak side defender, that second weak side defender is coming off the corner, and then everything opens up on the weak side. So when he's talking about his defense with concepts, because a lot of people just switch now, they don't have any more concepts, but everybody's got to be in the right place. And he was just talking about guys being a little bit out of position. What a difference it makes when you're out of position, when you're playing concept five-man defensive basketball.
Yeah, it's a hard defense to still play. A lot of teams don't do it. They switch a lot to keep bodies in front. The Thunder with Adams in the middle, they try to keep him home, body to body with a big, which puts a lot of pressure, like you said, Kevin, on the weak side defenders to be in first, so they only have one direction to go, and that's back out. Understandable, the Thunder would be a little bit out of gas after a high-spirited double overtime loss to San Antonio in San Antonio, then have to come back, play the Spurs again at home, and then the Wizards in a fast-paced game. So maybe tonight just an aberration with the Thunder not having the gas they normally do. But again, they play some of the best defense in the league. I don't think we have to concern ourselves much going forward with the Thunder on defense.
Yeah, thank you, Derek, so much. And I agree with Derek. I mean, this is not who OKC is.
Right.
You know that they play hard every night. And just so many crazy stats from this game. 31, both teams shot 75% from the line, except OKC got 41 attempts. And how about the Hawks? Only 16 attempts and still dominated. And I think you have to go back to that 62% shooting, 56 for 90, dominating inside of the paint, 68 to 54 in paint points. Speaking of dominating, I predict this guy's gonna be a good one. He's one of my favorites. No joke. That's right. This is Lauri Markkanen. He missed the first 23 games of the season. Yeah, he had a sprained elbow. But you know what he's doing now? Averaging 16, 7.5, and shooting 37% from the wetlands.